Hello and welcome to Journey of a Student Nurse. My name is Lee. So welcome to this next video in this wee series called Gaming of a Student Nurse. So I'm not going to talk about the whole why am I doing the series thing, because I've said it in my first two videos. So since the last video I've done a couple of things. So firstly, I've converted a lot of our stuff that we collected, so our iron ore and some of our copper ore, into sort of the ingots and stuff for what we need. I've also gone ahead and upgraded our hub to level 4 to upgrade level 3, sorry. So we're just about there in terms of where we want to go. So what do we get with this wee upgrade? Well, firstly, we've got more stuff inside our builder. So you can see this thing here is called a constructor. So we can build a lot more stuff with it as we go through the game, and this will become more important as the next bit goes on. We've also now got these as well. We've got conveyor belts as well as conveyor poles. We're not going to need them just yet, but they're going to come in handy in a wee while. But now we've got this. We've got foundations. So this is where the concrete really becomes important, because we can now start to build floors for our factory. I'm not going to do much with this just yet, as we're really not at a stage where building stuff will be very important. But just going to show you like what I mean with it. So in theory now we could start building the factory. I'm not going to start building too much yet, as there's still stuff that I want to do before that, but certainly they'll come in handy. So what's the plan now? So the plan is to work towards upgrade level 4 and starting to think about getting these Mark 1 miners, which will be very handy as things go on. So I'm just going to grab some of the ore that we've been collecting at the moment. I'm not going to collect too much at the moment, but we will need it as we go through. So what next? Well, the plan for this video really now is just to kind of start the production a little bit more, start a little bit more automation if we can, and work onto that. And also I've got plans that I would like to do. So you see this wee sort of cliff here. So if you kind of just sort of look to the, if you see through the trees, you kind of can see this wee sort of mountain point just here, where this sort of in the middle, sort of just beyond that. I know that there's a coal deposit up there, and there's some sort of iron, and there's also iron ore, limestone, and was it copper and iron, something like that up there as well. So my plan is to start maybe thinking about building a factory up there, starting something up there, and then building some stuff in here. So I'm going to have two factories in a sense working side by side. So it kind of leaves a bit of debate what we want to do for the whole thing, but for now we don't really need to worry about that too much. But this will become more important as the game goes on. I will want to start thinking about getting power production from the coal deposit up there, and then there's also somewhere, I think it's, I can't remember which direction it is, somewhere like that direction probably, that there's coal as well, good coal deposit, but we'll ransack and make use of at some point, but that's for later on. But for now we want to start thinking about producing our own power. So it's the other end, you muppet. It's this end. So if you remember that biomass that we made in the last video, we're going to start doing with this, getting this thing working. So, as you can see here on the bottom, we've got these wee things. We can now start to build power poles, but we need the resources for them. So, we're going to bring up our builder. So what do we need? We need concrete, copper wire and iron rods, which we have. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put one sort of just on the side, just here for now. This doesn't matter too much where you're going to put it, but then connect that up. So this is phase 1. Power production. Let's see. I'll just start thinking about building a smelter as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in here and we're going to get some foundations. Now, you don't need to do this, but personally I think it just makes things a little bit easier when it comes to doing this. Okay, this is one of the things I find a bit weird about building stuff. If you're not careful, you can easily muck this up. Right, let's see, come on, there we go. So we're going to build our smelter now. If we can find the smelter, production, perfect. I just think it's a bit easier to have it all in something. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop in another power pole. Now, you don't necessarily need to do this, but there's a reason that I want to do this at the moment. Now, when I connect this up, you'll see it say 0 out of 4. Now, you can only have a maximum of 4 wires coming out of these, and this starts to get pretty untidy very quickly. So as you can see already, that's got 2, and that's got 2 as well. So 1 wire coming out there, 1 cable coming out there. So we need to be quite careful of this. So coming over here, and we're going to push the E key. And we've got a couple of options what we want to do. So we've got iron ingots, and we've got iron ore. And I'm going to pop that into the machine, and then we're going to get some biofuel we made. Where was it? It's in here, I think. Yep. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go back round to our machine, and we are going to take the biofuel and we are going to pop it in there. So as you can see now, I'm just going to take these away actually, because just to save concrete at the moment. This thing is running and it's currently producing us iron ingots, sorry. So what you would do normally, once we get the miners, we will start to build like a sort of mini factory, and then we'll have some sort of conveyor system coming from the Mark 1 miners into these smelters, and then the smelters are going to transfer them into constructors, and then we can start to build stuff. So at the moment, as I said, this is now turning this iron ore into iron ingots, and then we can conveyor that out into a constructor to build things like things that we've been building on the craft bench. So things such as iron plates and iron rods, or if we put copper in, we can get copper wire out of it, which is kind of what we need at the moment. And when it comes to concrete, we'll just put a constructor in and build that. But it's useful at the moment because this is going to save us a lot of time just building at the moment, like on the bench. And this is what I was talking about with automation earlier in the game, that, you know, we really need to start thinking about being efficient. Right, we'll grab that, and I'm just going to load the machine up, and then what I'm actually going to do is kind of decided just going to put more foundations down again actually. And what I'm going to do is this, where's our smelter? Oh, we don't even have enough for a smelter at the moment. Kind of ironic. Anyway. So what I'm going to do at the moment is I'm just going to get some more copper wire, build this up. And then we will use this to build another smelter very shortly. We'll get some more cable as well. Just because we would need it. Right, let's convert this quickly. It's just sometimes it's just quicker doing it this way when you're trying to build something quickly. But once we kind of get some automation going, we can just redesign it at the moment. We can build more stuff and make it much more efficient. I'm not too worried at the moment. So we will build our smelter. Right, try and get the two lined up. Right. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is we're just going to take the power down for now actually. So this thing will have cut the power, but that's alright. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a power pole just there. And then I'm going to take that down. Just kind of one of those sort of design things you always think about in the end. And then I'm going to take that onto that. And then we'll use that onto that. And then that onto that. And then what we can do is we can convert that into copper ingots, which we don't actually have at the moment. That's fine. We'll just load this up with more iron ore as much as we can. Oh, we do have copper actually. And then we'll just chuck the copper ingots that we have in there. And then that will do a thing for us. So we can, once this is ready, get what we need. So this is going to convert it for us, which is going to save us a lot of time at the moment. At the moment we'll still just construct stuff on the bench, which is a bit tedious, but that's not going to be for too much longer now that we've got some automation going. But here's the crux of it. With automation, when you start chucking fuel at stuff, it does become hungry, so we will now need to start thinking about going on biomass runs and stuff. So the plan is we're going to start building the factory at some point, probably maybe use a little bit of this space, and then we'll just take it from there and see how things go. What is this going to look like when we've done the next bit? Who knows? So we're going to run up and we're going to get some more copper ore from our sources up there. How much space do we have in the inventory? Those just petals. Yeah, just I know we can use flower petals for stuff, but I'm not too fussed about them at the moment. Well, there's hundreds of them, so we've got plenty we can use. So get this. So just grab every leaf that you can, bits of wood, because it's not going to be long till we actually need them again. Throw that away. Actually, we'll just get rid of that for now. Bad move. Copper's more important, unfortunately. So, like I was saying though, you see this bit in this sort of direction, I think it's actually... don't know, I think it's generally in that direction. Oh, I'll tell you what we've got over there, which is of interest. See this yellow thing here? This is a yellow slug. And we can use this thing at later on in the game. It can help power up some of our machinery, which will be very useful. And we can sort of overcharge it. We won't collect it at the moment as I have no space in my inventory at all. Unless I throw away some stuff, which don't really plan on doing. Nah, it's not worth it, unfortunately. Unless we just got rid of one iron plate, but it's not worth it for one iron plate, unfortunately. Well, one iron plate won't do any harm, but I mean, yeah, we'll just, because I want to get it, because knowing me, I'll forget it's there. So this is something that are always going to be useful in the game. Actually, no, it's a green power slug. And then our lady's going to say something about it. Right, do we have an incoming message? Nope. Oh, crud. Jump, jump, jump. We've got Beastie coming up. Crap. This is what... Whew, that was like close. So, I always kind of get that's a bomb clencher of a moment, that. Whew. See those things, you just have to be so careful. Until... because I always find they just sneak up behind you. You can probably see there's another power slug up there, but we won't go for that at the moment. So we don't really need it just yet. So you probably see here our smelters aren't doing anything at the moment. That's because at the moment they're out of resources, so we need to reload them. But we'll go for that in a moment. We will quickly pop some of the stuff in our deposit. Put those away because we don't really need them at the moment. We'll keep. Here's the good thing. See, if you hold the right click, you can split those a wee bit, and we can put some into our storage if it will go in. There we go, which is absolutely fantastic because we don't actually need them at the moment. So I'm going to show you inside this terminal now. So things have been upgraded. So if you remember in the last episode, this was completely bare. There was nothing. It's now a little bit more homely. There's a couple of bunks, albeit they don't look the comfiest. Certainly, well, fair play. They actually look decent, fairly decent living space with a very awkward lavatory, toilet, whatever you want to call it. So not much in the way of home, and some sort of computer as well. We don't really interact with this much, to be fair, which is a bit of a shame, to be fair. But all honestly, it's not too bad. But I personally wouldn't like to live in that because how noisy is that generator? But one thing I do like it though is this. You get this wee lookout stand, which is kind of cool. So fairly decent. I would say fair play on that. So we're going to load up the machines. Right, firstly we need to unload the machines, certainly. Take those and put that in. Same with that. Take that out and then put those. Where's our copper ore? Put that in. And at least that will allow us to get more ingots. So here's the thought now. So the next sort of phase is, what do we do next? Well, we need to plan on how we're going to do this, and I think more importantly where we're going to do this, because we're going to need to start expanding the factory. when you start getting to the phase for more automation, this is kind of where you have to, oh, I should probably say as well, see this green smoke, or haze certainly. This is kind of poisonous, so you have to be very careful, which I find sort of strange that you're wearing a spacesuit and you think it would protect you from pretty much everything. So I like how they've added that into the game as well. So just wee things like that are pretty cool. But like I was saying, where are we going to expand our factory is the sort of decision we're going to make at the moment now. So I probably think we're going to want to use the space that we've got and sort of work out how it's going to work, how we're going to work this out. So we've got a limestone deposit there, so I think it's worth using the space certainly to build some stuff with limestone. We've got limestone up there, copper ore up there, plus there's a, I think it's an iron ore deposit up there. So what I'm going to think to do is kind of build this over 2 levels. So we're going to build a floor up here, and we're going to have something down here, and we'll use that space. We've also got a limestone deposit up there, so what I'm probably going to do is build a mini factory over there, and then have something, kind of have them sort of separate units just for now, and then keep that going, because it will allow for expansion. And then as we find more resources as the game goes on, we certainly will maybe be able to connect it all up, but then we'll just sort of see how things go. I've kind of got a little plan, but I'm not too fussed with it, to be honest. I'm pretty open-minded about what I want from this. But then again, if we have a scan for limestone, say, okay, we've got 1 just there, we've got 2 down there, and we also know that we got a coal deposit somewhere in this direction as well, which will be good as well. So we can use that coal deposit later on. So we could even build a factory into there. So again, there's so much opportunity, so much many places we can build, and that's the great thing about Satisfactory, is there's so much you can do. So there's something that we've now with this next level upgrade we can do, which we've not been able to do before. So we'll pop that into here for now, and we'll grab this. We'll pop that away, pop those away. We'll pop that away for now, just kind of tidy up a bit. Anyway, we can do this. Now, we've got more biomass, so we've used leaves already. But we can also convert wood into biomass as well, which is really good. So we can make lots out of it. So there's plenty of biomass to go around. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to store that for now. Put that away. Because at the moment, the more biomass that we have, the better, I think. And at least that way, we've got that resource. And we're pretty good at the moment for what we need. So, kind of thinking now, what do I want to do? Do we want to... kind of thinking potentially we'll maybe want to actually maybe move that into here and then start building something out, or because we've got a big rock in the way, and without being able to do much, it's a bit like, well, So that's sort of the bit of the issue, is what do we do? But I'm going to keep that for now because it's working okay. So let's look for the next upgrade. Select the milestone. So we need cable, we also need concrete, and we need iron rods, which we have some of, and reinforced iron, and is it reinforced or just iron plates? Right, so we'll quickly build some iron plates up. So we'll do that, which again this is where things just get a bit tedious. It just takes ages to do. So getting constructors built soon will make a huge difference to the actual progress. So get that built. I'm just going to use up probably most of this resource anyway, and just build loads of iron rods, because we will actually need them very soon anyway. So you kind of get to a point in the game where you're constantly needing resources, constantly. So, and I mean, it's just one of those things, you're just like, it just takes ages. So once we get the automation going, it will make so much, it will be more efficient. So what do we need? We need that, so we still need more. That's fine, we've got plenty on the way, and we need concrete. We know we've got some concrete in there, so that's fine. We'll pop that into the machine just for now. Right, that's fine. So we need 15 more and we need 11 of those. So let's go grab some limestone. So we'll just use the chisel for this and we'll just play a bit of Queen while we do it. Oh, actually no, we've got the miner, so I completely forgot that. We'll just grab all of them. So we'll build some limestone and we will get some copper, some iron ingots from the smelter, and we shall construct these into our next items to unlock the tier 2 upgrade 4. So we need 15 of those, but we'll just do quite a few just because we can. The great thing about the concrete is you just convert that straight from the limestone, so you're not having to go from iron ore to iron ingot to then iron plate or iron rod, so it's just a lifesaver, that. Okay, and there we go. Oh. Brilliant. So
congratulations.
So basically now we've got more stuff in the hub. So not much has changed in here apart from this. So you now see we've got 2 of these, which will be fantastic. So what I'm just going to do for now, just going to connect that up just because we can, and eventually we'll start to construct that. We'll start to create more power, we'll use more power. So if I log into this, go into this one, you can see here its capacity at the moment is 20 megawatts of power, and it's not consuming any, as we are currently not using much at all. I mean, we're pretty much not constructing anything at the moment, or basically smelting anything, I should say. I keep saying constructing for some reason. But once we come to get the machines up and running again, it will use more of it, and once we get this one turned on, we can use 40 megawatts of power. Also, with the upgrade as well, we've got this. We've got a Mark 1 miner. So what we can do now is we can actually sacrifice one of these miners. One portable miner sacrificed can actually is a pre-requirement for putting a Mark 1 miner down, and that will be able to make 60 per minute. 60. I'll explain when we build one, and then we can convert straight into these. But what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to do a few changes first. I think, oh look at that, a flying ray or something. Oh, I love that. Apparently you can actually ride on them. At some point later on in the game we can unlock a jetpack, and we can jetpack up to height and potentially go off something like this big arch or something that we can see like there, and then jump onto that because it flies through it apparently. So that's the plan for the future anyway. But now we need to think about automating it. So I think the plan is I want to build a miner up here first. Why, you're probably thinking? Well, in order to build our factory we need, or certainly our foundations, we need concrete and we need limestone. So I want to do a bit over here, so build a sort of wee mini factory and then connect it all up with the cables and power poles and have that running independently with a constructor to create our concrete, and then we're just going to chuck that into a storage container which should be in the, where is it, organization there. So we'll be able to put that into there for now, and that way at least it will give us what we need. So there's not much more we can do at the moment, but we'll get the foundations built, and then we can start to build up our factory floor, which will be really useful. Certainly over there anyway. I don't know if I want to build our factory here yet, or if I want to build it up there. I'm kind of inclined to build certainly maybe over here and use this sort of as a sort of level, sort of a ground floor, or level 1 if you're in America, but here in the UK we call it the ground floor, and then use that as a first floor and then build up on there, because there's a lot of flat ground over there as well, a lot of good ground we can do, and there's good resources. So, and then we'll just play as we find it. At the moment we'll just keep it as it is, and then that's the sort of plan. So what do we need for hub upgrade 5? This is where the big money comes in, if you like. So we're basically almost kind of tripling what we used the last time. But here's the thing, so once we've done this upgrade, we'll unlock tiers 1 and 2. But once we've done that, we can then start to do more and more, build more stuff. But if you see here, and it's probably faded out, you need to look very close. In order to get tier 3 and 4 unlocked, we need to build our space elevator. So that won't be for a while. But here's my plan. If we can unlock this biomass burner soon, we can start to build more of our we can start to get this bit running independently more so. So here's our plan. We're going to grab more of this. We've got another portable miner, so what we're going to do, grab all. We're going to grab our portable miner, put that into hand, and we're just going to place it. So just for now, oh, we got some good limestone here. Actually, we'll just grab that. Just do this very quickly. And this is impure, and yeah, it's all impure up here, but at the moment it's not too much of a problem. That actually is making me think, if that's the impure stuff, then is that the pure stuff over there? It's making me think. Should probably go check, because I do know there's limestone there. So basically it's the properties of it. If you didn't, so if it's impure, it's not going to give you very well for production. This is impure limestone too. I suppose it doesn't make too much of a difference. It just means basically, if it's impure, your miner's not going to get much out of the ground of it. Whereas if it's normal, you're going to get a reasonable amount out of the ground, and if it's pure, you're going to get a lot of good stuff. So it's pure brilliant. So, pardon the pun. You probably, if you've not probably figured out by now, I am Scottish, so Probably by the accent, certainly. I've kind of got a weird hybrid because I've kind of lived in so many places now. I'm originally from Dumfries and also lived in Edinburgh. I now live in Stirling. Well, lived in Stirling for a while. Now out there, but it's just I've been everywhere, and I've lived in Glasgow a wee bit as well. It's just I've kind of got so much of a different accent. I'm just running randomly now. Don't know why. Probably because we can. So here's the plan. We're going to build more. We're going to get more of the concrete that we need. So we're just going to quickly do all this. Use all the limestone that we've got. And then we are going to start thinking about building a factory floor. Now, this is something that I only learnt not long ago. And that's actually making me think now. I'm thinking, do I want to keep the miners this side, or do we want to take them that side? Because if we're going to be building that to ground floor, we could use that. Yeah, I've decided we're going to move that, because though I think it's a good location, pick up the miner, pick up the miner. We'll just do this quickly at the end, before the end of the video, because we can use the deposit there, and it just means we've got one source. We'll just do the exact same plan, but we'll just do it over here, as it means that we can build our resources a bit better. Now, as I was saying, this is something that I learned not long ago. Basically, what we're going to do is, can we have enough for a Mark 1 miner actually? We do. Perfect. So, this is something that I learned from another YouTuber. I can't remember their name, fortunately. But basically in the video, so they were saying how you can... Okay, we'll build that onto there. Build that. Now we're standing in the middle of it, might help to not. And you're probably thinking, oh no, you're covering up the resource. Why? Badly. This is something that I think is quite useful. So we'll get the miner. Where's our miner? So you can put the miner on top of the foundations, which is fantastic. So we'll get the miner going straight, and we shall build a power pole. Probably put that. We'll pop it there for now, because I'm anticipating we will start to go up there at some point. Connect that up, and then will that reach across? Will we have enough? Will that reach from there to there? Oh, just. So that's the miner online. So what we're going to do at the moment is we're going to, do we have enough for a constructor? We need reinforced iron plates. But we'll let the miner do its thing for now. Now, this is the thing you have to be very careful of in this game, is now that we've got 3 things online, we've got 1 machine, and I'm going to show you this. It's only consuming 5 megawatts of power at the moment, but as more goes on, as soon as we turn those on again, we are going to have issues with that. So I'm going to pop some biomass into there, and while I'm doing that, while I'm here, we will put our iron. That's limestone. Okay, is that limestone as well? Right, we'll put the copper ore into the machine, collect the ingots, the copper ore, and we'll do an exchange. And then we'll go to our storage, and we should have iron ore in there, do we? No, we don't. I always like to check that first. Grab that. Put the iron ore in. Where's the iron ore? There it is. Right. As you can see now, we're working on 30 megawatts of power, 13 megawatts of power. The capacity is 40, but as I said, as production goes on, well, we need to build reinforced iron plates, don't we? Might help. But as the construction goes on, we will have issues, and it's a perfect number for a constructor apparently. Like, I don't like to do things by halves, certainly. And what I mean by that is, I don't like just to go with the minimum number of stuff that I need for it. I like just to make sure I've got more stuff than I need for the resources. Concrete, we've got more limestone. We'll just construct this up, and it will allow us to build more foundations as well. What I might do is, if we build more portable miners, I might put some portable ones up there for, just so we're getting more and more. I might put another. We'll work it out. But now I'm going to say this is the official start of the factory. Now, I'm not going to do too much with this. I'm probably going to build around this. Probably, you can actually build over it. So we'll build some foundations out. Is that? Yep. Kinda knew that was going to happen. You have to make sure it's connected first. Right. And we'll just pop that into there. So this is theoretically our factory floor now. What I'm going to do is get our constructor up. So, see this green line? This is basically it all lined up, in a sense. How is that? I find the positioning of these things so awkward sometimes, which is so strange. Anyway. Oh, we don't have enough. That might be the reason. Sometimes you don't even notice these things until you've actually like... Right, so we'll go back, build some iron plates, and then we'll grab those, and then we'll just do a quick rundown to the machine, grab that, and we will chuck some iron ore in there so it's full. Just keep the construction going. We will need to do a run for copper at some point soon. Iron plates, let's build those. How many will we need? Who knows is the question. Who knows? Right. And this is probably now the fun part of the game, when you actually start building the stuff more, because you actually are now starting to build a basic factory. There we go, first conveyor belt of the game. So now you can probably see we've got smelters there. You're probably thinking, why have I not put a smelter on this? This is something that I learned when I had on my other profile, and I had my other profile, that you can't put the limestone through a smelter. It doesn't, in this game, it doesn't do that, or you probably can't do it in real life anyway, but anyway, that's besides the point. But, so, we just put straight into a constructor. So, I'm going to show you this. So, on your constructor, you've got different options of what you can build. So, for example, you can build biomass, leaves, and the wood. I personally prefer just to build this on the bench, as it's a very quick process and it doesn't take long to do the biomass. When it comes to building things like iron plates and iron rods, they take a lifetime to build on the bench, so we're going to build some constructors over here, and then we're going to do that. So that's the plan anyway. We'll close that. So that's the plan with those eventually. Now, you're probably thinking, why is the constructor not doing anything? Well, this is the issue. I'm going to rebuild my power pole just there, and I'm going to build one just here. This will become clear as the game goes on. And then I'm actually going to build one. Actually, no, that's fine. Actually, tell you what, we'll take that down and we'll pop it in here. Now, this is my reason. Now, connect that up to there and that onto there. Now, this one's going to power these two. Now, personally, thinking, why have I built like a power pole over here, power line over here, power poles? Well, as you can see there, we've got the power coming out of there onto here. I like to keep these working independently and keep it as tidy as I can. So, once we build more of this into our sort of factory, we'll deconstruct these and then we'll reconstruct them sort of maybe over here. But what's going to happen is we're going to have the power poles, going to have like a pylon line, if you like. These are our pylons, and this one here is effectively going to take more cables to another power pole here and then up to this level. It all will make sense as the game goes on, but we're building our factory nonetheless now. Now, here's the bit where we don't have enough. Yep, we don't have enough for a storage container. So we're just going to get one storage container and then that will be it for this. Now, I don't have a production line at the moment for that, but I do just want to have enough for a small production line, or small storage anyway, sorry. Once we get production lines going, I won't be using storage containers as much. They are good for to hold certain things in between certain bits, but to be honest though, for what we need at the moment, it's for what we useful at the moment. And then we'll just build a conveyor belt into there. So this is now our concrete going into the storage container. So as you can see now, we've got 4 bits of concrete. Now, as I was talking about the miners before, the miner, with it being impure limestone, we can only produce 30 per minute. If this was normal, we would be producing, I think, somewhere around about 60 maybe, a bit better, which I can't remember exactly, but actually I can't remember. Anyway, forget what I've said. But we're now producing concrete. Now, the next step is to think about building out our factory floor. So, what the plan is, we'll keep this going for now, but we will build out from this, build onto the floor here, and then we will create a bit of a factory floor, and then we'll think about building up on a level there, getting more we'll start thinking about getting more miners and stuff, and more factory and more foundations built. And then thinking about heading up there as well, building up our second level and progressing this. So that's the plan, I think. At the moment, I haven't really got much more planned with that. So that is that, and that is it for this round of Satisfactory. So let me know if you think this is something that you want to continue and have as a series going forward on the channel, because I certainly think it has got a lot of potential. But stay tuned for the series as it stands at the moment, where we're just playing games. Anyway, that's it for me in this video, and from Journey of a Student Nurse, we look forward to seeing you in the next video, and bye for now.